We just had a 7.8 violent, massive earthquake in Perryville, Alaska. As you can see here, it's near mainland Alaska, right on the tectonic fault. And we've had a tremendous amount of aftershocks as well. This one here was reported by 181 people, and I'll leave a link below for you on Seismo Berkeley so you can see. I can't even count the number. We just had another aftershock of 3.5, Sandpoint, Alaska, on the Aleutian Arc right there. I would say we've had at least, I'm not counting the ones that are less than 2.5 magnitude, but I think we've had up to now about 20 in that area. 7.8, 6.1, 5.7, and 5.1, and the last one this past hour is 3.5. And let's go to the map and you'll be able to see them right there. Okay, this is the latest one. This one here. The red are the past hour. Now you'll notice that this is on the Ring of Fire, of course, the Pacific Plate, the northern area, the Arctic area, the Pacific Plate. But look at what happened here. Okay, we do see that many a time we have, on the same fault lines, we have a couple of hours later we see the pressure released somewhere nearby. And this one here, of course, on the Cascadia Arc of Tofino, Canada. And this one, as we see, is just off Vancouver Island. Just off Vancouver Island, 5.4. This is Bella Bella, Canada, right there. That's Vancouver Island. And we have to be careful now of that pressure being relieved a little bit later down around the Walker Lane Fault System, Ridgecrest area. We know that last year, on July 3rd, we had a 6.2 on Bella Bella, Canada, right there. And 13 hours later is when we had the foreshock of 6.4 in Ridgecrest, and then came the aftershock of 7.1. That happened again in 2015. We had a 6.2 in Bella Bella, Canada, around here. And 24 hours later, we had a 3.5 in Ridgecrest. So that area there gives earthquakes on the Walker Lane fault system, because Walker Lane pushes up to Cascadia. It pushes up, and that pressure, because Walker Lane is a series of faults, it's sort of rattling in pieces like a puzzle, and I guess that's where the stress gives way. But this is a tremendous amount of earthquake pressure, as you can see there. This is what it looks like. And let's go back to see the tsunami. We have a tsunami warning as well. Sorry. Going back, it's somewhere underneath all those things. There must be at least 20 there. And if we put in the 2.5, smaller than 2.5, we'll get a tremendous amount of activity, obviously. Let's put it in. This is all today's quakes. The blue is all today's quakes, and the red is the past hour. We have these two now here as well. This is the past hour. Okay, what's happening? It didn't show, but anyway. Let's go to the area, and this is it. Okay, tsunami warning. That's it, what we visit right there. Okay, no tsunami warning, advisory, watch or threat. 6.2, this was another one. This has nothing to do with the 7.2, obviously. 7.8, sorry. 7.8, Alaska Peninsula. Let's go to that one, tsunami. No tsunami warning for the 7.8. No tsunami warning. Okay, so that was huge. How is it? But because I have another map showing that we do have a tsunami warning. Okay, so this is the tsunami warning. As you can see, it's red, magnitude 7.4, depth 8 mile. July 22nd, 2020, today. Okay, that's the location of it, Chignik, Alaska. And you can even see the mapping of it, that whole area that it takes into, from the Aleutian Islands all the way to the mainland of Alaska. So take your pick. Why is it that they say we have no tsunami warning? Then they come out with this map saying they do have. So if it were no tsunami, it would be a green banner, whereas it has a... Now, the tectonic summary for today's quake, the big one that is, because we have a tremendous amount of them and they're still going on. July 22nd, 2020. And I want to see if the 2.5 came up. Yeah, there's, I would say there are some small ones there, 2.8, 2.3, 2.9, and the little ones, but that came out of nowhere, all this says. Just remember all the Aleutian Islands are volcanic islands as well, so there's a lot of magma under there. But anyway, this violent and very massive 7.8 earthquake southeast of Perryville, Alaska, south of the Alaska Peninsula, occurred as a result of thrust faulting on or near the subduction zone interference between the Pacific and North American plates. The preliminary focal mechanism solution indicates rupture occurred on a fault dipping either shallowly to the northwest or steeply to the southeast. The location, mechanism, and depth, and the large size of the event are all consistent with slip occurring on the subduction zone interference between the two plates. At the location of this event, the Pacific plate converges with North America to the northwest at a rate of 64 millimeters a year, so that's pretty fast, subducting at the Alaska Aleutians Trench, 125 kilometers to the southeast of the earthquake. While commonly plotted as points on maps, earthquakes of this size are more appropriately described as slip over a larger fault area. Thrust faulting events of the size of July 22nd, 2020, today that is, earthquakes are typically about 120 to 50 kilometers length and width. Large earthquakes are common in the Alaska Aleutian subduction zone. Since 1900, 6 other earthquakes magnitude 7 and larger have occurred within 250 kilometers of the July 22nd, 2020 event. That's today, of course. The largest of these was a magnitude 8.2 earthquake, November 10th, 1938, which occurred in an almost identical location as this July 22nd, 2020 earthquake. The Alaskan Aleutian Trench also hosts the second largest earthquake recorded by modern seismic instrumentation. The 9.2 earthquake magnitude March 27, 1964 earthquake, which ruptured to within about 250 kilometers of this event at an eastern end of the 1938 rupture area. The 1938 event produced a small tsunami and was recorded both locally and in Hilo, Hawaii as well. It even reached Hawaii. The remote location of the earthquake resulted in little impact to people and infrastructure. More on this, we'll keep an eye out on this to see what's going on. And I'll leave links below for you for this. All of you in that area, please be careful. All of you on the West Coast, please be very careful. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.